had to, man, foreign chargers. Hi guys. I just wanted to talk about this on my travel channel. For those who are solo traveling, I want to inspire you guys. Not that I did too much, but just a different way to look at it. So when I solo travel, it's like the one thing I have to myself, meaning I could just be by myself, and that time is a great time for beauty. So I just wanted to say, like, I'd love for us to start recreating what we do at solo travel and think of it as like your health and wellness time. So I have like this huge beauty regimen that like I just can't get to it, right? Like I know about the face mask, but how often can I get to it? I know about the derma rolling. I know about, you're supposed to put your legs up on the wall for 20 minutes a night. There's all this stuff working out, da 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 da. That like when you're taking care of a kid as a single mom, or a diverse mom, whatever you want to call it, like the time is just not there because your daughter or kid is always asking you for what they need. So I am taking all this time for solo travel, and my goal is, and I'll keep you guys updated, even if I fail, I'll keep you guys updated. My goal is to lose like at least 5 pounds, and I've lost 3. And it's funny because why are the French so slender? Because they walk everywhere. That's it. There's no secret. Walk. They walk. You can eat whatever you want when you walk. I've been walking for hours a day. Guess what? You lose weight. And so what I wanted to say is that like vacation time, solo travel especially, unlike when you travel with other people, is the easiest time to lose the weight. And I'm just going to go into what I've been finding so far. It's been 5 days, 3 pounds. And this is why when you're solo, you don't have to get drawn into everyone's social event. Now look at, I've been to Italy. Italy had some great food, right? And so I need everything. And I ate all the carbs. I didn't gain a pound. Like I didn't lose weight, but I didn't gain. And that's just because the amount of walking. Now, the good thing about France is that honestly, I'm not really into French cuisine at all. You would think I am, but I've been eating it and it's gross. It's like freaking tons of almonds on fish and it's raw this, raw that. Like, no, just because it's raw doesn't mean it's great. Doesn't mean you have a sophisticated palate. It just means you're not used to seasoning. I'm really not a fan of French food. And so when I got here to Marseille, especially like the good restaurants are the Brazilian restaurant or the Texas restaurant. And there's like Mexican, and there's like tacos and burgers everywhere. Like honestly, or it's Moroccan. Moroccan street food's really good, honestly. That's working. So I'm on this diet called the carnivore diet, which is why if you see my skin looking better, it's all meat. And so what's good about that is that it's like if you've ever done an elimination diet to see why your body reacts to certain things a certain way, you basically have that every day because there's nothing in meat. So, and I love it. So like today, it was really easy to stick to it because so I'm not interested in burgers and tacos. That's nothing special. Brazilian steakhouse, I've been to Brazilian steakhouse. So yeah, I'm in France. Do you really need to go to another Brazilian steakhouse? And now because I'm traveling more, I can't just eat out all the time. I can't eat out 3 meals a day just because the travel budget won't allow. So I allow myself one day to eat out. But the thing is, like, I'm going to tell you, I absolutely love going to the grocery stores and getting their prepackaged meals to go because it shows you so much about the city. And my favorite is this Neapolitano, but it's meatballs and a red sauce. And I put this raclette, which is like a classic melting white French cheese on it. And it's just so good. I've eaten that like 2 days in a row. I'm going to eat more. And that's like €3. So I just went to the store and bought all this stuff and it's really good. Like they have like poulet à la Mexican and poulet paprika. They use paprika only as a seasoning. I'm curious. So that's the frosting. So I just sort of order things and just put them in the thing and things that I can cook in their toast oven or a pan. So the food's not hard because honestly, like if you go to the Britain, okay, I'm in Britain. Like as an American, what's so great about British food that like you can't stick to your diet? Honestly, it's just not that good. The best food I had out there was Chinese and Indian, right? But like I have that in the States and we have really good stuff in the States too. So it's like I don't get to a lot of these countries and I'm just like, I gotta eat all the food here. Maybe if I was in like Croatia or Eastern Europe where it's like really different from what we're used to, or Morocco or something. But like you don't have to pick out like just because you're on vacation. because honestly, like it's American as heck out here. Burgers and tacos and pizza is everywhere and pasta. I'm like, okay, I've had that before. So I'm just saying, just because you're on a solo trip. Now, if I was in Vietnam, I'd eat the way the locals eat because they're not going to have Burger King and tacos. But like here in France, they do, like south of France, like it's very American and McDonald's and Burger King, like whatever, right? Cozy Pizza. I'm pretty sure there's a Cozy Pizza franchise in the States. I feel like I've seen it before, not just here in Marseille. So it's not hard. Now, I did go out today and I got like, what you want to do if you're a black woman is just, or even if you're not a black woman, anybody who wants to see like the local flavor. And when I say local flavor, I mean all the diversity, which is where a lot of the flavor comes from in most of these Western countries. I went to go look for an African hair shop because I was looking for a leave-in conditioner and I found a really nice one. So, FYI, black women, carrot oil. Everyone's like carrot oil. I know we do a little carrot oil in the States, but they're like, this is what makes it grow. So beautiful. I bought some leave-in conditioner with carrot oil because I dyed it. I have to be extra cautious about conditioning it with leave-in conditioners in addition to the moisture and oil that I spritz on every morning. So I went there and that was cool because I really appreciated so I could stay on my carnivore diet, but I really appreciated the food and the ethnic food was just basically like Algerian, Tunisian, and Moroccan, honestly. That was pretty much it, but that's actually really healthy cuisine and they cook really healthy. And sheep is amazing. It's very soft, dark meat. It's a very soft and it absorbs all the flavor. Mouton is how you say it in French. Mouton is my favorite and it's everywhere. So right off the grill, and they don't be putting all that sauces on it, like no sweet sauce. They don't use that to taste good. Nothing sweet. So like that, I don't do sugar on this carnivore diet that I'm on. And you know, I've lost like 10 pounds on the carnivore diet, so it's a really good one. So that was really good. So as far as the food is concerned, because of budget, I only eat out once and I go to the grocery store. I like the ready to eat meals that I can just pop in a microwave or refrigerator because it's a really cool way to see like the locals. But like it was 65 euros for the week. And I'm gonna post a short on like the kind of stuff you get because I showed everyone my grocery haul from the store. But if you're gonna budget travel and you want to stick with whatever diet you're on, that's the way to go. And like I said, those ready meal to go, it's just really cool seeing all the different flavors. Like, you know, the ready meals to are like pre-seasoned food where all you have to do is heat it up, but it's pre-seasoned. That's, I don't know, it's just really fun. And looking at their TV dinners and getting some of those are really interesting because it's only, I mean, it's just really fresh food and it's the best. Butter here is amazing. I think I heard someone say that French butter is like the best. And I'm just like, oh my God, this butter's so good. It makes this, oh my God, it makes the eggs so good. Like it's so tasty. I don't know. I don't know if I'm going to smuggle some in or just get the names of some and see if I can get some back there. That's pretty cool. But the other part, like, you know, they're like, oh, the French and da 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 da. They're so skinny. And how do they do it? It's just the walking. And solo trips are so much better because when you're with somebody, like everyone's like, well, let's go eat here. Let's go do this. Let's go drink this. And I don't drink, but when I'm around, like I don't drink on my own because like it's just not the best for my body. Like I like it. It's social. It's fun. But like the after effects, I just don't like how it makes me sluggish. It drains my energy. It takes me long to bounce back and be in like peak energetic condition. And so when you're with people, you have to eat. Like you have to go. And it's been so nice being here on a solo trip and like I don't have to go sit down at a restaurant. Like, I don't want to. It's like, it takes so long. It's like an hour and a half. I got things to do. So, like, just getting stuff from the store, just doing whatever I want, walking everywhere. I went and got a pedometer from like the store. I don't know. And walking everywhere without like, oh, you want to go eat? Once again, you have to sit down. Then it takes 10 minutes for the waitress. Then it takes 20 minutes for the food. Then it takes 20 minutes to eat the food. And then 10 minutes to get the waitress again. It's like a whole hour gone. And honestly, I just have so much to do. Now, the other good thing about using your solo trips as a way to do it is because you can easily get in 2 hours of walking a day. 2 hours of walking a day is like more than 10,000 steps. And that's like automatic weight loss. As long, I mean, like, okay, it's, if you can eat whatever you want and do 10,000 steps a day and like you can eat whatever you want and like you're not going to gain too much weight or you might stay even. But if you actually watch what you eat, which I'm sort of doing because I was on this diet last week, so I didn't want to stop that, it's actually really, really easy to get 2 hours on a solo vacation. It might not be with other people, but so this is my pedometer and I got like, it is saying, how many did I get today? I got like 10,000 or 11,000. And the other thing I'm doing, and so yeah, I'm just taking this time. Like I said, I have this huge beauty regimen that I don't get to do. The regimen includes like certain face mask that I like to do. I like to alternate charcoal or the Aztec Indian clay, or a moisturizing one, or just a natural made of honey or eggs. So, I'm able to do that, just some self-care stuff, self massages, I already got my reflexology and as massage at an Asian massage parlor. I literally just Google Asian massage parlor. I don't care where I am. They're all the same and they're all cheap. So I like them. And I like their techniques and how they do it. It's really consistent across the world. Um, and so what I'm saying is that, like, rethink solo travel, rethink it as like your self health, your beauty regimen time, your health regimen time, your focus on yourself regimen time. And it's funny because there's this meetup group. So I'm a couch surfer and I'll look and they're like, oh, there's a meetup of different people if you want to meet all these travel people. And I was like, oh, what a great way to connect. And then I'd been walking all day and I was just like, ugh, I'm just gonna do what I want to do, which is like, I just want to go home and watch. I watched some movies on Netflix, right? After a full day. I was like at the museum and I was walking around. I think I walked for like 3 hours. I saw this prehistoric cave dive, which was really super cool. This is like one of the biggest prehistoric finds. They found this cave with over all of these. I mean, it's like 30,000 to 33,000 years old, or they used to live in the caves, and they made pictures of all the things that used to live there. So that was pretty cool. So, yeah, so I just want to show you guys all of that. So, use the time like I am to get away from the kit for your solo travel, to just do those hours of walking. And I know that sounds like a lot, but on vacation, that's not hard at all, because I mean, there's so much to see and do. So, instead of like riding the bike, I'm going to ride the bikes on one of these hikes, but just walk around. So that's what I've been doing. I did bring this cool little travel scale. This is helpful because I did notice you can get this off Amazon. This was cool. Added like a couple pounds to the bag, but that's pretty cool. And the other thing that's really cool is I don't do sugar. So I got these little packets, and in these packets, it's sugar free. It's using not erythritol. It's using stevia and monk fruit. So that's really good. So I keep my water bottle and I'm not tempted to get sugary drinks and detox teas. So these have been, I think, a game changer. But there's all these different things I'm doing to sort of keep on the weight loss regimen. So the detox teas I brought with me, all super lightweight. The sugar free, I put these in my water bottle I brought, which is really cool because I can flavor all my drinks and I'm not tempted. Once I do this, I'm not tempted to buy any sugary drinks while I'm out because I'm feeling deprived, because you can't spend 40 years addicted to sugar and sweets and just like cold turkey. I like, it's like the equivalent of methadone. It's like stevia monk fruit. So you get that little thing. And the travel scale has been clutch. So I'll let you guys know, even if I don't hit my goals, because my weight goes back and forth. But I'm trying to just like walk the hours, which isn't hard because, interestingly enough, since I'm here for such a long, 10 days, you got to go pick stuff up and everything's like a 15-minute walk. But yeah, Britain just did really well on the walking culture because it just keeps everything so healthy. Like you can't help but be in shape. And, if every time you go on a solo trip, and that's 3 times a year, you're able to just focus on yourself. I'd love to hear more stories about like, yeah, every time I go on vacation, I come back even more snatch. I just think that would be wonderful stories for us to start to share. So I'm just going to end on that note. Oh, so it's been fun. Just a little update on being here. Been here since Friday. I got 2 dates lined up, one from Bumble and one from the guy who showed me where a store was today. He offered to ride me on his bike, which isn't weird in France. Like, that's just, like, it's hard to have a car here. Like, I've been walking everywhere. So, like, you just take the tram or have a bike. Like, it's very healthy, honestly. It's for your health. And another guy from Bumble who's, like, into spiritual things. He's like, I just got back from Copenhagen. And a lot of spiritual healers there. So, it's cool that you do that. And, yeah, let's meet up tomorrow. I'm like, yeah, why not? Anyone who just says, I just got back from a long week, like 3-week trip, is sort of on my level. Because if you can do a 2-3 week trip, you could probably hang with me because I can do that. Not everyone can, but like literally that would be a partner, something like that I would like, just because it would just make things even keel versus if I'm always gone and them always working. You just want to see someone who's equally yoked, but we'll see how it goes. It's just nice to have 2 days. And, I'm going to talk about American guys versus European guys. I love America. I am not American who's like, oh, I pretend I'm Canadian. No, I stand so proudly in my Americanness. I love being American. I think Black American women, especially, so much of the culture that they love about America comes from us, and they know it. And they give respect for that. It's so different being here as a Black woman, because, in America, being Black has a power component, meaning sometimes white folks just want to flex because they have power over us because it's their system and they like flexing it because sometimes they don't have any of the power other than to take it out with you. That's why sometimes you're minding your own business, not doing anything, and they're hating or they do something to like cause an issue just because they can. Because when you feel powerless, well, at least I got this. Now they've tried that with me, but they've learned the very, very, very hard way that I am not the person to do it. And they've learned that from a lot of Black women, right? But there's a power involved, right? Of them wanting to keep that. That's sometimes it's all they got. And nothing else, I'm above you. And you'll do as I say, and you'll stay in your place, right? That's why sometimes they're so problematic. And so coming here to France, they never have that power dynamic. They have a competitive dynamic. So yeah, in France and England and over here, they're always looking at each other like, well, the Germans are smart. Well, we're smart too. The Polish are, the Eastern Europe, they're like they're always comparing each other. They're very competitive. That's just like the non-melanated nature of, the non-melanated, which is fine. Like there's no judgment. I just understand they're competitive. That's why they're always looking and competing and comparing. I have an ex-husband. He competes with me, but he's pretty open about it. Like he's like, I'm not gonna let you make more money than me. No, like it's just not a thing. And now my daughter, who is half white, super competitive. And I'm just like, didn't get it from me. I don't roll like that. But that's part of their culture, right? So I get it. I studied my ex-husband. I was like, wow, y'all really different. I didn't know that until we married. But which is cool because then when I go into the greater society, I understand a little bit more about them than I did before. But American versus European men, I'm talking white because that's generally who for some reason, that's just, I only have 8% white in me. It's English and Irish according to my DNA results. But man, I really tune into that 8%. So I really, that's just, that's just who I tend to really have a intellectual, just be on the same wavelength with. And so I've been dating and you're here for 5 days and you have 2 dates. Whereas in America, it's all these guys who are just like, who are you? Are you good enough? And they don't see that, but I can pick it out. And they're really judging. And I'm like, why are you judging? You're not that attractive to be judging this hard. Your life is a bit of a mess, but audacity is what American men have in spades, but you're not that masculine. You're super unmanly. You're going to these other countries to get women and you're getting shown gosh. So I don't hate them, but I'm just comparing them. They're just so are you good enough for me? And I'm just huh. So ladies, if you want to feel pretty, just go to and then I come here. And it's just so quick and easy to date. I just find that the men are less shallow over here. And that's it. They're less shallow and they're more traditional. They're well, hey, I'm supposed to get kids, have a family, and, take care of them. What? This is a very simple way to live. This, they're not confused about the assignment. Right? They're you're cute, you're fun. This does not have to be a big thing, and we don't have to all end in divorce. I have to look at the divorce rate of people in other countries, but I don't think it's as bad as the US, but I don't know. I have to check it out. But it's just so interesting. Here it's they want to get to know you. They see something, they like it, they want to delve deeper. Whereas over there in the States, it's just don't know if you're good enough. But like I said, the people with that attitude are why are you so uppity? You don't got that much money. You're not that in great of a shape. Well, why are you so uppity? And it's okay, you deal with it, but I'm just So I don't know. I know I'm very international. I know I've been a traveler my whole life. I know right now that looking at Europe and looking at America, I'm just okay, as a traveler, not an ignorant person, someone who's been all over the country and all over the world, who's here now, I think I would just prefer a European man. And like I said, this isn't 90 Day Fiance, so I'm not going to a third world country to pick up some dude off the side of the street, right? No, I mean, this is first world. So that first world jobs, no, I'm retired, or no, I own real estate, or no, I'm an investor. We're not we're not going down in socioeconomic class whatsoever. And it's great because, my life's all about travel. They're all about travel. I do have a view, when you travel, you really start to understand people at a human gut level. And even if you go into different environments, you're okay because you've just learned how to adapt. It doesn't matter where you go. You just learn to connect to the humanness of people. And which is why I like traveling, because I grow spiritually from it. Understanding humans is understanding is spiritual growth, right? Like, and how to cross that boundary, or at least get better at it. So I'm just like, yeah, I think I'm just gonna have to go. I think I want a European man, like, to do this. America, you're great. I'm not saying I want to leave you. I want to keep my house, but oh, wouldn't it be great with someone in a culture who value family and community, where it's safe, right? Also where, the men are men, like, yeah, you take care of your kid forever. Like, what is this? You know what I mean? Where even the women are just more laid back because they're not all super stressed. They know the value of socializations and friends. I love that. America, you're great, but you just don't have that beautiful diversity of, like, from Italy to Greece to, it's like 18 million microsystems from one country to the next. Like, it's just so amazing because we didn't have all these different cultures competing with each other for their most beautiful architecture, like Italy did, for their best food, like France did, or, and Spain, like, they were just really big conquerors and on the sea, they all have these different things that just make it so beautiful. I love America, but I don't think, there's people who lived on this continent their whole life and they haven't explored every single aspect of it. But everybody here, of course you've gone to Croatia or Prague or Spain or Italy or Poland or Germany, right? Like, I just love that about Europe. So I'm a Western girl. I was born in a Western land. So I am Western, right? Now I try to balance that because they're not always right. And so being Black within a Western country, there's some things that they're doing that you're like, dude, you need to relax. Okay. Just chill, right? Your own culture can bring that out. But like, if I had to compare American Western experience, men to the European men, the American men, like, they just think they're like a, they're just really uppity. Like, now that I'm here, I'm just like, why are you, and it's not necessarily deserved, but they are really uppity for wanting to bring 50-50. Right? For not having a good job. Like, you're so arrogant. These guys have good jobs. They're educated. They still have enough women. You know what I mean? Like, they at least they're all, like I said, they're all tall, right? They're taller on average over here. They work out. Their health is important over here in Europe, like health and wellness and what you eat. That is a national dialogue and discussion, not like a hit or miss thing in the States. So, like, on average, like, they're just hitting all the marks. But y'all are the ones that are uppity and shallow and don't want to get to know people. Okay, well, your relationships reflect that, American white men. I'm just saying. So if I had to compare, like I said, it's different when I'm at a certain financial, socioeconomic class. You get that way because of your education, you get that way because of your financial background, you get that way because of your intellect, right? You can be a high school person who doesn't make a lot, but if you're well read and understand nature and human nature and understand politics and geopolitical politics, and you understand that, you're at a higher class as well, right? Like, there's not just one thing that puts you in a certain realm. It's all of those things can, like, edge out and get you there. So I'm at a certain place, and the men I'm talking to also have to be at a certain place. But I just find that it's just not hard to find them. Like, why is it so hard like a lot harder in the States than over here? And here it's very interesting because, I'm in Marseille, but like, people from Spain and Germany and England are all swiping at me, right? And so it's very interesting that you really are like, oh, German, England, da 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 da. So I'm not telling you guys to, like, I don't know, maybe I am. I'm saying if you guys could go over here and you could spend extended amounts of time, it won't be bad. I mean, if you're comparing just like men, I don't know. I'm sort of going to start manifesting a European. It just fits my lifestyle. I'm not with the American culture work every day. I want 2 months of vacation. Honestly, I'm taking 4. let you know. I don't mind going back to the States, to Virginia. I live near the beach. So like, hey, there's nothing wrong with that. And plane tickets are anywhere from $600 to $1,200, depending on how soon you get them in advance and how long the flight is. I don't mind it at all. I love traveling. I am so chill. I wear the right clothes in the air. I know how cold it gets. So my legs, I have my furs on my feet. I stay for 15 hours. I pay $50 or I use my priority pass. Now it just got the priority. I need to pay for the priority pass today, but to renew it. But I stay in a lounge, so I get all the free drinks and free food I want. Like traveling is not this big deal to me if I have to do a long flight. So yeah, that's just where I'm at. So I just want to say I'm just focused on my health, wealth, beauty regimen, my health regimen, my fitness regimen, while solo traveling, and just getting a little bit of work in, some videos that I can get done because I'm just not so crunched for time. If I was at home, there is always something I got to do. So I'm just going to take that time for myself. Hopefully see the results after when I get back on the 14th. But yeah, I was also casually dating, and like, America will have women thinking there's something wrong with them. And then you leave. Now, is it, oh, she's American? They're trying. No, these are German people. Like they're French. They're not trying to run. They're French people with good jobs. Like they're not trying to run to America and leave their good jobs and family. So it's not like, oh, she's American. That gives you, no, they are perfectly settled. Like, in Western Europe, like if you go to Eastern Europe, well, Eastern Europeans aren't making that much money. So yeah, they're going to look at American opportunities they can have. Yeah. But like if you're in France, Germany, and the UK, it's like, they're not trying to, maybe the UK is, because I think a lot of people are leaving there. But they're not necessarily like, oh, you're American, that's why I like you to have a leg up. It's literally like, they're just looking for smart women that are serious about family. And regardless of what American women want to say, that's what we actually want. So the problem is that we want them to do as much as we're doing, and they don't want to in America. Whereas over here, they're very competitive. Like the Germans are competitive with the French, competitive with the English. So they're trying to outdo people. You know what I mean? And that competition keeps it so that they're not slacking. You can't slack in these. You can a little bit, but like if you're on that ambition train, you have a lot of competition. You have a lot of smart competition. And it just keeps them, I think, very quick. I think it keeps them on edge. Whereas I think in America, a lot of guys don't have that edge anymore. Maybe because they work too much, but like, and the people here have 2-3 months vacation. But it's, there's something about it. They're just more down to earth, and as a woman, the guy on the street who saw me, yeah, I'm American, but like, that's not, in a third world country, oh, they're American, I make money. But like in France, they're like, dude, I make money. Some of them make more than you do, right? So like I said, it's just a different energy. But that's the energy I go for. I'm not going down. I have assets, okay? So I can't get with you if you don't have assets nor understand it, because you're not using my asset, right? Like you need to have your own asset, and I bring my own asset. And that's that 41-year-old talk. Like when you get to 41 and you have something, you don't just feel it letting anybody in. You're like, you got to have something too, because you need to understand what it took for me to have this. Like you need to have done something so that you understand me, because otherwise we're not on the same page. It's really easy to spend someone else's money when you haven't made it. But when you've made it, you're very cautious and very discerning about where your money goes. And so finance is a very big part of my whole entire energy being and psyche. So, being here as a solo single mom travel, yeah, I'm doing it and meeting people, but like socioeconomic class does matter, at least to me. I watch 90 Day Fiance. I swear to God, they be picking people up at the Banana Hut stand. And I'm like, I don't care what country you're in. If you work at the Banana Hut stand, that's fine. I'm not dating you. Like these girls, I don't know. They can't anything. But it's just sort of funny how quick and easy dates here are. Whereas in the States, it's like, are you good enough for me to go on a date with? I'm like, why are you so uppity? You're not even tall. Like, or educated. Why are you so uppity, American men? Right? And they want to talk all this smack about American women. But I'm telling you, ladies, we need to start treating them like somebody's like you're not the only option. And honestly, American women would love European, because we do like to travel and we do want to settle down with family. And we don't want to be working as hard as America has us working. So they better watch out before more people follow me and you export all of their valuable asset, or some of the women who are valuable assets. But anyways, I hope this was a fun talk. So this is my channel, Single Mom Fun and Travel. I did put it on my spiritual channel because I think some of the people on my spiritual channel are sort of interested in travel as well, and they don't mind me going into these subjects. So Single Mom Travel and Fun is sort of my travel vlog about just being a single mom, traveling solo, but also traveling with a kid and how to do it in the easiest way. So we have a cruise coming up, and I'll be blogging content from there, as well as next year for spring break, we're going to be going to Montreal for a French immersion trip. And the cruise we're going on is in Norway, but we're going to be in France for also a French immersion trip. So we're going to be blogging about the immersion aspects and how to get my daughter to open up and we're planning and coordinating activities so that she can be around other kids and go to the park. So I'm more than happy to post the Montreal trip to see if anyone would like to join and make it like a group trip. I think it would be really fun if you start working with your kids, following along and teaching them a foreign language and meeting up to do it. I have to tell you, like, people look at me crazy, but like in a respectful way when I tell them I'm teaching her French, because I'm just going to be blunt with you guys, but I'm not going to say it with anyone else. It's a class elevator. They're known for being, when it comes to class, like, oh, you're not mal élève, right? Like you're just not raised right. Like they really hold their class to them. So when you're learning French, the difficulty of the language, as well as that culture of being above it all and like a higher class, rubs off on whoever learns the French. So it's very interesting, like just what I casually tell people about it. They look at me like, why are you learning? Like, and of course, I'm not going to tell them, well, there's multiple reasons why, but the main one, honestly, is just that she's 6. It's a hard language. So you want to teach the hard language first. Spanish is very easy to learn for my sake, and French is harder. So I wanted to do when she's young and her brain is malleable to learn the hardest one because it's not hard. Her accent's better than mine. It's weird. I don't know how. She knows how to pronounce words. I don't. And I know more French than she does, right? So their minds are just so made and adapted. So that's why I did it. But also because I love the schools here in France for university are very affordable. So I'd like for one day my daughter to go to one of these universities, and if she learns the language, she can. And so I will get a safe environment. I will also get an educated daughter with a lot of Fortune 500 companies who are over here in France. And it would be safe. And, I'd be able to pay for her college. It's $1,000 a year tuition for highly ranked schools, right? So the only reason they're not overflowed is because people don't want to learn the language. So I'm giving this opportunity to her, but I'm also letting you know that this is an opportunity for you. She's 13 more years, and we do plan on doing these trips to France. I also plan on, there's usually like high school abroad things that they can do where they can spend like a year abroad. And if she did that, I would 100% come out here with her for a high school year so she could learn it too. So like going to universities won't be some weird thing. But yeah, so there's so many reasons, but I'm also very aware that it's a very high class elevator. So meaning if, she comes back to the States and knowing French, and she goes to any company or works for, I wouldn't for IBM, Accenture, Deloitte. She worked for any of those, which would be very easy for her to get, especially as an American with knowing French and having a degree. It just really shoots you to the top and gives you this air and mystique about you, about like, like, who are you? What else do you bring to the table, right? Like, it's such a classy country and culture that it rubs off on you, even if you might not be, but like you can't spend time with them and it not rub off. And so it's just an elevator in many ways. And this site is for upwardly mobile moms. And so if you want to be upwardly mobile, there's a level of discipline and learning and education that can fast track you. So it's just very interesting. I saw this German couple at the French immersion school. We went to an open house, and this German couple was like, why are you learning French? Because like the French class is like 8 kids and the Spanish class is like 40. So they're like, we need more French kids. And they're like, why? And you can low key see that they were a little like, why didn't we think about that? You know what I mean? So like now they're getting competitive. So, it's just life competition, but don't compete with me. I don't think the way y'all think. I think I'm not even following the American routine. I'm following my routine, and that's the better routine. So you guys follow me. Don't follow America. They'll have you overworked, paying $120,000 for a 4-year degree and getting a $30,000 a year job. That's not the way to do it. Learn a couple languages, go to school overseas, travel overseas. If you can't find a husband overseas. Gain overseas, but like first world, not third world, right? At your socioeconomic status or above, which is not hard. I'm telling you, it's so much easier. And then you can come back to the States after you have some global seasoning. Or if she wanted to, she can take those languages and work in some sort of tourism industry and whatever she chooses. I like the idea of her working on a cruise ship, right? Because they get free room and board. They can save up all of their money. They travel all around the world. I would love for her to do that, right? And they can jump from different cruise lines to cruise lines and then go to college and then come back to the States. But there's so many more things when you give a kid the gift of language. So please take the time to do our Learn French with Layla, Learn French with me, and all those good things. Just if you haven't learned a language and you're intimidated, just to see the slow process of how it goes. So I hope this was fun ride for all you single moms out there who are looking at upwardly mobile things for your daughter, meaning you're where you're at, but you want them to be able to go to the top and be respected and for them to be integrated. And part of that is taking the time to develop these skills on your own free time and free will. But like, that's what it takes if you wanted to have access to a certain social class. My idea and goal is that when she is around people of a very higher class financially, maybe than I am, she's very comfortable, right? Not that she's pretending to be them, but when they're like, oh, we've been to the south of France, she's been to the south of France. Oh, I've been on this yacht, she's been on a yacht. Oh, we went to Fiji, she's been to Fiji, and she speaks the language because they speak French down there, right? It's not that she would be competitive and she would not be a fish out of water, right? And she'd understand it, right? And in some cases, she might even bring more class than they do because of her experience. And that's just a good place because when I went into corporate America, I didn't have any class. I was just a working class woman. That's not the culture of corporate. Corporate's very upper class and high class. So it was really hard. I was sticking out. I wasn't smoozing the way I was supposed to. And so now we're like, no, I'm not having my daughter. I'm going to have my daughter walk in and she's going to know this game, right? And a lot of us have been through it. That's why we are successful, but it was tough. And, we just want to. So that's why I'm doing this, paving the way, and my love of travel, and just bringing all the perks of solo travel and that all of us can do. So I hope this is helpful and fun. Please leave a comment below. Please like and subscribe if you want more content like this. Tell me, are your kids learning any languages? Would you date a man in a foreign country? How do you think of American men versus European? Is it just me? I'm just saying, they're cuter, taller, more family oriented, and not as shallow. I don't know. So it's a win for me. Maybe there's a reason the threat of socialization is so much stronger here than it is in the States, where people are just always looking at people like, are you good enough for me? Are you good enough for me? All right, guys. Love you. Bye.